Hey everybody, welcome to my first match of season 44 here against E.Honda. We got a doozy of a board right off the bat. I guess you open... Well, shoot. You can open Talisman Engineer. You can also open Talisman other stuff. You don't have to open Talisman. And there's ways to get lots of cavalries. I guess then playing them is a little challenging. There's not a cheap village, which would help. I don't know if there's any sort of like really loopy things here very much, other than just the cavalries can run real fast. I mean, you can play a few extra of them, a few extra a turn with money. Which certainly seems possible to do here. But it's not... I guess I don't know. Like what... Obviously you buy the talisman, then you draw a bunch more cards, you can buy something else. That's something. Or buy the cavalry, I mean. I don't know that this will work out. I'm not super clear, I guess, on what the decks do besides just pile out. So piling out, of course, is a admirable goal in and of itself. Sometimes. If you're the only one who can do it anyway. I think there will be a bit of an economy issue if you just do kind of the angle I'm looking at right now. For sure. There's also toil livery is sort of a basic thing. That just nets you money. You don't necessarily have to have the actions for it. Which is something. I don't know if I really want 2 goat herds, but they don't seem like an unreasonable buy. Honda did get to... I guess that it's really not too different. His talisman misses, I suppose. We're just gonna have the cities just rocking straight off from the start, I guess. I don't know if this should be yet another cavalry. I don't really have another great buy to make. I mean, I could take another talisman, but I did not draw anything particularly useful. I don't think I'm gonna buy good thing about buying an engineer here. I don't know though. This is not ideal. I would have liked to see some of those horses. But if you get money, you can just toil stuff. Like, that's not a problem. but I don't really have good money yet. Maybe never. So we'll see. Um, this is definitely at least a little bit wheel spinning. I could probably trash a cavalry here, right? I don't know how. I guess I could also empty the cavalries. I don't know how good that is. I don't think I can win. It would be sort of interesting to try. I mean, this is essentially the extent of my money, right? There's like horses down in the bottom now. Well, how many coppers have I trashed? One. Yeah, so there's like horse and cavalry down in the bottom, I think, which are reasonable to just leave. I'm trying to kind of want to buy a toil and a silver. So I also just sort of want to trash something. Those toil and 2 silvers, I guess. I don't think there's just 2 cavalry in the discard. Seems reasonable to. I'm gonna undo. Well, I can always don't trash, but there's a horse on top of it. Like, it's something. I mean, it's also certainly worth considering getting like a 5, just getting like a charm. Anyway, I'm far from. Oh, it wasn't a cavalry. It was the estate. It was the estate. Forgot the estate. No, I mean, not clear to me anyway. Whether you draw there or what. I guess I didn't get to. Either an undo is incoming, or they don't plan on doing some of the things I think you might think about doing. Man, I'm doing it. I'm gonna take them. It's too many, but let's try and move through this a little bit more. There's still more money down in here. Okay, this is pretty good. This looks pretty good. I guess the question is whether I should have bought a charm first. Which is a fair question. This will be sad. He's probably going to play Goat Herd for trashing some. Well, maybe not that much. May just be labbing him this time. We're about to find out if there's any value in having 30 cavalries versus whatever other things you can have. I assume this will be a city, but it could be a livery, I guess, or another charm or a crypt. Possibilities. Yeah, so unfortunately you found the goat herds there instead of one of them's in the bottom 5, and that's okay, but it would have been nice, of course, for me. Not for him, but for me, if these goat herds had been hiding a little bit. Because he didn't really have that many horses. I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. Does take a city, that seems. I don't want to engineer. You have 5 and charms, so that's nice. I'm gonna not give them I guess the thing about crypt is that I don't actually want to lose well, I still have quite a few coppers that would be totally fine to set aside. For sure. My bottom cards are probably just a bunch of cavalries. Yeah, it would be fine to set aside coppers. would be fine to just have another charm too, though. It would be nice to go 5 double city rather than the other way. There's definitely something to the crypt, though, if you're setting aside this many treasures. Alright, J Nails is watching. We'll do it. Probably J Nails is, I didn't want to crypt this game. That'd be my luck. Also, we have 3 of the coppers and we don't have any draw, so this isn't so promising for the crypt prospects. But, you know, that's just life. This is pretty good, actually. That was a pretty good draw for me. We'll see how the next one goes, but I'm trying to think if I'm greedy enough to go for the second charm yet. Not hugely different one way or the other, actually. I mean, I'm not gonna shuffle on my next turn. I mean, I'm gonna put a 5 in before I shuffle. I don't have that much draw. I don't believe. I mean, how many horses do I have? Like 6 or so. I mean, if I have 8, no, that's still not quite, well. Depending on goat herds, it can technically trigger. If I have 8, I don't know that I have 8. I guess in that case, I guess that favors just taking payload, though. If I have 8 or more. What is this? Honda's drawn. I guess Honda, you know, didn't get 30 cavalry, so he's allowed to have his horses in his starting hand more than me. That seems fair enough. Yeah, I mean, if Honda keeps drawing, which, you know, he looks good for doing, he'll win. He's gonna get a really nice turn here, and then I do think there's a world. I do think there's a world where he's gonna go city charm, but where I draw horses at the top and I'm competitive with him, but I'm gonna live and die by that since my deck's just so much fatter. And his shuffles are just gonna be, you know, pretty stinking consistent at this point. What's gonna be real sad is when I draw like cavalry crypt. That'll be the heartbreaker. They just gained 6 horses. I don't know if there's any in here. I might have 10 horses. Well, no, Still. We keep getting this one horse continued draw. Eh? Look at that. Do I put horses in this shuffle? Or do I just save them for the... What do we have now? This is a good turn. That's something. We could still... Obviously, I mean, there's stuff we can find here that could help. It's just what's in here. Because there's quite a few cards in here. There are horses in there. So there's 2 horses, 3 coppers, a silver, a charm, a goat herd. That's nice. That's nice. This was what I needed. Without a doubt. This is actually beautiful money. He may still have enough of a tempo lead, I don't know. I'm not sure exactly, but this is still beautiful. I guess it's City Charm for sure. Oh, I should do this first. I almost forgot to. So there's a couple horses. Whoa. There's a couple horses. And there's a goat herd. So we're going to see a little bit. Not a huge amount for the next shuffle. How should we handle the money? I guess technically now I have probably overdraw. I guess the main thing is we're really only making use probably of like $7-ish. Tops. Though this 4 set aside doesn't give us... oh, no, there's still some coppers in here. It could be a silver too. There's another silver and there's some coppers, 2 coppers. So that gives us 9 in deck if we leave it like this, which is like, you know, city, gain a couple charms, toil a couple things. Our need for toil is going to be going down a little bit as we get the cities, but yeah, I'm gonna do a silver too. I think we don't need 9. I think 7 is fine for the next turn if we draw. I guess what you set aside doesn't matter hugely. Well, I mean, that matters. I meant whether it's silver or a talisman. It's better to do the talisman, I guess. I'm not using it. All right, that's what I'll try. Yeah, so we're not going to see a huge amount of cards from the shuffle. Possibly... Oh, Honda did it. Awesome. And he didn't hit awesome. So they have the crypt this hand. Oh, okay. He didn't full dead, I guess. He still gets to do this. And possibly set aside 4 coppers. This is probably the crypt. It could be a cavalry. It must have been a cavalry. Okay. That's all right. He didn't trash right with the goat herd. Yeah, let's do this. So we had pretty similar duddiness here. And neither of us are going to dud this time, but we are probably going to start greening. Or something. He may be able to take like a couple charms. Most likely. And then that'll be a little bit annoying. Because that'll be kind of big on the charm split. But if I had drawn around and gotten 2 charms, with a city there, I would feel like I was in pretty good position, but this is okay. I'm gonna be able to make a lot more horses. We should help a bit with the consistency. Hopefully. Maybe they didn't find either charm. Either charm, there's like 3, right? So that's not possible. They must have the crypt in hand now. We don't know how many charms they have in hand. Yeah, but I'm not. If they take 2 charms, I can't touch them, obviously. That's just losing on estates. Or whatever. There are other, like, I mean, I could build still. I could go like city, livery, or something like that, but it's not. That probably risks a 3 pile as well. It's a bit odd. I mean, I can see what kind of greening options I have. Okay, so they do lower the charms by 2. I don't know if that gives them like a guaranteed win. Probably not. So they're up to 5 charms. 5 or 6 charms. I either have 3 or 4. Not really sure. I may only have 3, maybe 6-3 split. There's not a goat herd pile out, is there? Like a tie? That takes 3 buys still. I would have to have 4 buys. Or, yeah. Would have to have 4 buys. So it takes... Yeah. I started to get a little nervous there. I don't know what the last card is, but I guess I can do this. I still have 2 goat herds. Interesting. Interesting. I wonder if I trash one just to... I know it... Well, it turns one of his stop cards to cantrip. I don't think draw's an issue, so probably... I mean, draw may not be an issue for either of us, so... that may be... Okay, it was a charm. Okay, I do have 4 charms. So I can just tie if I want. I have to make this decision. I don't think I can win. Maybe I can win. How much money is a win? No. You're not going to do better value than Charm and Duchy. This is the problem. Do I have like 16? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 9, 10. I can double. Buy an engineer. I can... Well, this I guess the goat herd is the only question for me, whether I trash it. They've got 5 charms, so they can do 6 gains. Do I have a win on just cities? I'm not gonna have the buys for that, right? I can losing pile out. I can also tie. I don't think there's a win, but I am gonna triple check that because so a charm. I don't think there's an estate pile out. No, there's no way. So I can charm Duchy and then I get up to 4 buys. With the rest of them, and that's $6 plus the 10, 16, which is 9, 14. I only need $14 and 4 buys and 1 charm power. Is there a curse pile out? No. I don't think so. I mean, there is a pile out. It just loses. I don't even actually. There's not even a pile out. So I could just straight empty the curses, but I can't get anything else. So I can press this goat herd to make that disappear and just choose not to trash. Potentially. I don't know. I don't know how much money they have also. I don't know if they can compete all that well with, like if they do 5 duchies, like let's say they do 5 duchies, that's probably about as much as they can do. I'm not certain. They may be able to double as well. Let's go for a win. I may be missing something they can do. That's very possible. I'm gonna have a little bit more money next turn. Hopefully they can't just win on the goat herd stuff. I'm not positive. I didn't count that out, I guess. They would need 3 buys. Well, they gotta score a bunch of points, so. Did they stop drawing? Man, this is gonna be funny if they draw on because I trashed that goat herd. Maybe they just don't even have the goat herd in hand. I don't know. That'd be kind of funny. Maybe they just stop because they're gonna trigger. I guess if anything, the way I played my turn, if I was gonna trash anything, I should have trashed the cavalry that I didn't toil. That was a misplay. If I was gonna play the goat herd and trash something, I was gonna leave it. And if I wasn't gonna toil a cavalry, then I for sure should have trashed the cavalry and not the other goat herd, because he made. There's always some world where he trashes a card. Not likely, but the upside is like clearly better the other direction. But he never got the second set of silvers, right? I have 3 silvers and 2 as a 1, so he just doesn't have as much money as me and has trash more coppers. So I don't know if they even have cash to do double province. So they're gonna have to do as much duchying as they can, but that's not probably sufficient. It opens up duchy pileouts for me. Beyond just it opens up duchy pileouts beyond just me, my other kind of pileout. I think I'm good. I probably am missing something, and they're gonna just pile out. But I feel okay. maybe it's not the case. I could fail to draw, of course. That's always a possibility. But you know, I did what I could to prevent that. I stacked the deck, so if it happens, it happens. I don't actually need that much here. He can't score very much, so I don't even need to draw that much to be able to pile out. The talisman would be probably essential. And of course some number of charms, but this first game already took so long. Hopefully they're not all that way. If we were playing a 6x45 match, I'm gonna have to not play at all. I'm sorry, I have something else to do today. So hopefully they're not. I can't play a 4-hour match. Okay. If I draw a deck, I have a win because the engineer is sufficient for pile outs, but I guess that's the if. Maybe I'm overestimating my draw considerably. Apparently I am, because I didn't get through everything. I don't know if this is enough. Maybe this is still enough. It'd be funny if I only need... I need $14, right? 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 10. Yikes. This is not enough. Did I even leave much draw, or did I just overestimate my ability to draw through deck? Like, what's the horse situation? 4. I mean, do I have 4 horses down in here? If I have the engineer in hand, I win. They didn't play goat herd. That's a real bummer. Yeah, if they have engineer, if I have engineer in hand, I win. I mean, I should still check. Again, there's not going to be anything as efficient as just buy charm. They didn't play the goat herd. I better check. Yeah, no trash. Oh, that's trouble. I did find all the cities, so it wasn't that, but there are some horses I guess I didn't find. And it's just that I added the green. And that I just drew all the cavalries right now. Well, Duchy Lorraine's not an option for me. Now, it may be an option for them now. So I don't know if they'll draw a deck either, right? Now I'm definitely not playing the goat herd. The engineer would be it, because I could go goat herd estate, and then I wouldn't even have to... I could use one of the charms, and I would just need $11 then. That's so sad. I thought it was so clever. I thought I was so clever. I'm like $6 short too. Well, if I'm $6 of a non-engineer pile out. Which is a bit of a different beast. Well, I can't do the duchies. Now this is sort of a fresh problem, right? I'm just probably failing to draw here. There's some horses down in here, but but now the points, they're very likely to have just a bunch of points, maybe too many for me to overcome. I guess, I don't know. I mean, their draw stopped. Now it's just muck. They're not getting more than 4 duchies. Well, I guess the talisman may not have come down, but I don't think all these are charms, but I guess it's possible. Yeah, so now we're just doing this dance where neither person actually has the stuff to pile out. That's funny. I mean, that's funny. I don't think lowering estates opens up any pile outs for him. So I can probably do that. So their draw is much lower now. Of course, mine is as well. Then I have a talisman in hand, which makes lowering goat herds like mildly appealing. But it's pretty, well, it's moderately terrifying. It's really, I could lower duchies now. It's not like, I don't think I have to play around the threat of 5 duchy charm. That's just not feasible for them anymore. They don't have the draw. I can lower the goat herds in province. Goat herd estate. Like, what's the world look like where they can, they'd have to draw back around to the talisman. They have 2 cities. 2 cities, but I don't think a lot of horses. And this shuffle is huge. I don't know if it helps me though. That's the real question. Then they would need like, this is, I'm sure, one of these situations where the right play is just to outscore them. Just do the provinces down to whatever. Rather than trying to play for a pile out that likely isn't coming. All right. I thought my engineer was so cute. Okay, there were some more horses. How many charms did they play last time? 2. So there's quite a few charms in here. Not a lot of other cash though. I had a period where I could pretty much play the cavalries, and then I'm gonna switch back into a mode where whether I get to play the cavalries or not is like real dependent on just the where the cities happen to be. They have a city in hand and some charms, so I guess they're just questioning whether they should trigger a shuffle. They have a livery, I think. They haven't played that yet. Yeah, I'm still not sure about the estates. I kind of feel like I won't shuffle again, or if I do it'll be decided already. Yeah, how many horses had I bottom decked? I guess I had bottom decked 3 horses. So there was like on my previous turn where I thought I was going to win, there was still like quite a bit of unplayed draw and just like other outs if the cards had come up a little bit differently, that I had a reasonable shot at piling. Yeah, I'm sure Han is just thinking about whether they can trigger, because I don't think, even if they trigger, I don't think they're that likely to win this turn. It's probably, I was gonna say it's probably not impossible, but it probably is impossible. So if it's impossible, then they trigger a shuffle, and then the rest of it, they get this turn be good, maybe one other turn be okay, and then their deck's done. My deck is already done. It's just its doneness is probably a little better than Honda's doneness, but not super better. I definitely cannot play 6 1-hour games. That's not in the cards. I guess they're thinking maybe they're just pretty sure they're not going to shuffle, and they're just figuring out what to do with the livery. They did go for it. They found a city right off. They're not clicking any horses now though, so draws a card. What did I trash? Oh, the engineer. I trashed the engineer. What? Did that give him the card? Did he not have it until that happened? Oh my word. All right. I guess I'm just regretful forever. I hope it was that. I hope it was the one card. That would be great. Oh well. I mean, maybe my last play, the trash the engineer, was really bad. I don't know. I felt okay about my play in that game, to be honest. I thought I gave myself a good out for trying to win, and it just didn't. I just didn't get the draw. I'm sure there were mistakes. That's not what I'm saying. But I felt all right about some of my decisions anyway. Not all of them, but I mean, this looks like Ironworks clearly. I mean, unless I'm missing something on your 4, it seems like I mean, you didn't have to do it. I guess you could just go straight to the mill. But it seems like there's two of these. I mean, I guess the question is whether you even do the silver. I mean, you probably, I guess you can buy Road Network. That'd be pretty funny. I honestly didn't see Road Network, of course. I mean, who does? It's an invisible card, but man, that Road Network art is real bad. Wow. Okay. I never looked at it. Yeah, so there is I guess there is something to be said for hitting 5 here, you buy Road Network, and then they're just switched to gaining patrons, I suppose. I don't know whether I want an island or a mill. To be honest, that's not super clear to me. Apparently I decided on mill. I don't know if develop is worth it. I mean, it's got to be at some stage. Just what stage, I guess, is the question. Maybe now. We each get 1 mil, and then we're done. We're off into patron land. I don't think 2 Ironworks is terribly good if your opponent has a Road Network. I could be convinced that the best buy there is still just like Hunting Party. That doesn't seem like too hard of a sell that it was wrong for me to take Road Network, but I've had better shuffles for sure. They haven't hit the 5s, and I have. I don't know what they got with their. I don't know what they drew with their silver hand, but I could think about a mastermind now, though. Maybe one more shuffle, maybe one more Hunting Party, and then a mastermind. I guess you can do. I mean, I guess there's no buy though. So like, what is you can make 1 million coffers, but you don't have to. Like, it's fine to. It's okay to be able to. Should I get a patron now? There's a reasonable shot of me just not. I mean, there's some player stuff where the gaining a mill or something now would be better. I think I just want to buy a 5 if I can, so. There's also something to be said for trashing coppers over silver over estate to silver, which isn't the biggest deal here if you have some mills. There's certainly going to be some point where you take the. I don't like their deck. I'm glad I don't have it right now anyway. I wouldn't want. I don't know. I'm not a big fan right now. Didn't really have to do that, but it seemed reasonable. They have a lot of coffers now. I'll pick up a patron here. Maybe I should have developed the mill. Maybe that was way better than the copper trash. Again, another ironworks. That seems so greedy to me, but maybe I just am wrong about what's happening here. Wouldn't be the first time. Like, to me, it feels like the deck shouldn't draw. But I can get 2 hunting parties. I won't have a chance to draw the mastermind. The shuffle is kind of bad, isn't it? There's like 3 coppers. Shuffle's so bad, I feel like I need to take a card out of it, whatever it is. So now it's 3 coppers, mastermind, estate. Man, this shuffle is awful. The patron, why did I get a patron? Shuffle is really bad. I can get a hunting party on top. But I don't know how much it actually helps. They got a little further. They did get to play Mastermind first, which... Well, that was not the draw. I mean, it doesn't really matter for me to discard this stuff. I'm going to have the money. Discards 2 hunting parties. Great. Excellent. I mean, I can trigger, which seems okay. Where's my patron? Oh, I killed it. That's right, I killed it. I guess the coffers allow him to bid a lot higher on Mountain Pass. That's the main interaction. Which could matter. I'm not sure again about that number of patrons. Did they change this yet? Not yet. All right. I could bid 40. Can I pile out? Probably not. I think technically if I had the draw for it, it's possible. Especially if I had an ironwork in hand to mastermind. I think bid 40 I can't. I think I need my buy technically to do it. I'm not 100% sure. Again, that's assuming infinite draw, which I do not have. I mean, I have to play for a sort of longer game, right? Because, which may be completely unrealistic just because he did get a mastermind down. The hope was always that, I mean, that the gains that they had made would make their deck not run, but that didn't really happen because they have a lot more stop cards than me. But anyway, that didn't happen ever. I mean, it doesn't really matter. They're gonna overbid whatever it is, and then try to pile out gains wise over a couple of turns. So, but I guess the thing to do is to bid pretty high and then hope that their next turn isn't good enough that I can pile out myself. So I have to add some ironworks. I get to try and play a couple masterminds if possible, add another ironworks, even though that risks pile outs too, and then hope that their turn just isn't big enough to win, even though it's pretty likely to be big enough. They may just take the bid no matter what. I mean, I guess in that case I can bid 40. I don't know if it works though. I think I'm probably toast. I mean, if they dud, then I can maybe get through. So that's to play. I guess that's what I'm playing for. So it's like a 40. Let's do it. I never done it. I never bidded 40 before, so this seems like a fine time to do it. Did I top deck the develop? Gosh. No. I hate it when that happens. Oh, I hate it when that happens. You feel like you did maybe not everything right, but you did something reasonable. You feel like that. And then can I lower the ironworks? I mean, I need a little bit extra ironworks. They are gonna need to, miss some. So, and then we can put. That's a way to get the trigger. I have this feeling they're just gonna win immediately, right? But so if I get another mastermind and another develop, do I get another develop? I guess I can do it without trigger. That doesn't seem clearly good to me. Um, so we do silver mastermind. I mean, they're gonna be able to at least buy province. Okay, so at this point, there are a couple hunting parties. Ironworks. I mean, this doesn't matter. I mean, I'm not gonna win. That seems pretty clear. I mean, they're gonna win right now, I'm pretty sure. That's not really playing for a win, though. Interesting. So maybe they're not gonna win right now. I mean, I think whatever they do will be sufficient to make it difficult for me to win. They can score some on top of a province buy, so some of the scoring they can do isn't that helpful to them, but probably enough of it is. And also my pile out is like not not easy. Not even clear that it actually works. All that well. I mean, I can empty them. I can do that, but empty them and win is not that likely. It's very, very unlikely. Again, I don't hate patron hunting party. That's a strong interaction. It just seemed like, it seemed like they had a lot of stop cards, but still were moving through the deck, and that was somewhat frustrating. But possibly I just made some bad choices. Very possible. I think the developed copper was maybe a point you could look at, and then maybe just the road network period. And it may be that just the style they're doing here is better, where it's not like they're drawing deck, they're just having good turns, right? They're just having Turns they make covers, they get some gains, and that's good enough. Not so much control. I can believe that for sure. I'm never gonna find out who my opponent is in no terminal mix. Cat Stealer and Haka just can't finish. They're probably trying to figure out my gain situation, but I don't really have a gain situation. I'm not gonna put something together that does anything. I almost clicked that. I wonder if it popped up in one of my turns in the first game. There was one turn where I definitely on the buys. I took a heck of a long time. Are they winning? I mean, if you're going for a win, you would never have lowered the masterminds. Like, that would just be silly. Wow, I really hate this. This seems... Doesn't this just seem awful? I may still not make it. I may very well fail to make it. But that seems really, really bad to me. Well, we didn't draw any extra ironwork so far. I don't even get it. Like, it was just... Wasn't it just always super bad? What they did there? I don't get it. I don't get it. I admit to being confused. The hunting party lowering, I guess, specific. Maybe they knew their next 5 hands were real bad. Next 5 cards were really bad. They had to top deck it. I don't know. I don't understand. Maybe Honda will tell me later, and I will learn, or someone else. Very possible. Procession improved, catacombs, sungrounds, lackeys. Well, okay. I guess we're doing that stuff. I guess that's the stuff we're doing. This is gonna be... This one's gonna be funny. You can still procession island, right? And get the things. All right, I'm down. I guess. Do you want a silver to try, or do you just go lackeys, and then just start buying processions? I'm not gonna open procession. I guess you can open improve lackeys also. Maybe is reasonable. I'm not. That part's not super clear to me. But it seems, it seems possible that that's the thing you do. It's funny, there's no trashing, so you really are going to be just trying to throw stuff into your deck and hope it collides. This is nice for them. I guess I'm going to have a similar. We'll see if they get another procession. Yeah, you're just going to be like, oh, procession, draw cards, these weird things at 3 and 4. Oh, I hope I draw them together. Just over and over and over again. I mean, you could get an archive to try and thin out a bit, I guess. But obviously it's not a procession target. But in theory, it's a little nicer for consistency. Whether that means it's the play, I don't know. Obviously, the upside of a catacombs is way higher, right? If you get the nice collisions, then the catacombs is way nicer. Honda also didn't have to play use a villager since he didn't have collision, so we have a similar shuffle, but he has one more villager, which could be quite important. I don't know if you do something like Camel Train ever. I mean, probably not, but it's not crazy. I don't know. I feel like I kind of feel like getting the archive and trying to do a little bit more, though that makes my procession buy look a little stupider for sure. It's just a very weird game. I'm going to try the archive. And this isn't super clear to me actually either. I may just get another improve. We're going to have a bit of contrasting. Okay, so yeah. I mean, I won't beat that if this happens repeatedly. I'll lose for sure. But obviously he put the 2 processions in and he bought the catacombs. That's a thing that you can draw. Not unlikely. I wonder if you take hunting grounds over catacombs ever, or if you just wait for the hunting ground stuff if you have some, super nice turn. Like here, I'm going to have a choice on my buys. It's a little hard to sustain this. I will say that. At least it feels like to me. I mean, it feels fragile. But what else are you going to do? You're going to try and do it. Right. The improve didn't do a whole lot there. I mean, it could have. I guess it could take something. Could take another catacombs. I don't think it changed as much. All right, the improve already got changed. Yeah, that wasn't... I do wonder if I should be getting a lackey somewhere. We'll say no on this trashing. Yeah, and if you put your hunting grounds at the top, I mean, this depends on if they found procession now. Yeah, okay. Well, they did. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see if Honda can keep it afloat, probably. If they can find the camel train, I guess, is probably the important thing for this turn. It's hard to... They did. Yeah. I don't know. This is hard for me. I can't decide if this is like, you know, what they're doing being a lot better, or if the first two reshuffles were real nice, or the third and fourth reshuffle were real nice for them. Second and third reshuffle. Some number reshuffle. Or some, you know, some combination. Well, it's of course some combination of all those factors of the deck composition and the draws, but that's Dominion. Do they have a lot? I mean, at the end of this turn, will they have a lot more stuff in their deck? Or will it just be kind of different looking stuff? They're getting these cards, I guess, the camel train cards. There's some things are changing, and then they're getting the camel train cards, and they're getting like this lackeys. That's really nice. This looks nice. I mean, this looks like beautiful play. Nice draw, but beautiful play still, so. I think the hard, quote unquote, hard part is just going to be whether there are piles. I don't know what their procession count is. I assume this turn piles catacombs in estates and procession. Like that seems pretty safe, right? Maybe hunting grounds can pile too. I don't know. But I assume this is just like super in hand to empty the estates and the catacombs. Yep. All right. That was nice. I think it's probably the case that I should be doing the buys Honda makes rather than the buys I'm making. I think he had a good turns, but he gave himself the cards to have the better turns for sure. I never know if my GG is... I never know if I'm timing the GG right. Steph, you should fix that. If the GG is going through, or if I'm in limbo when or they're in limbo when I send it or whatever. But so I sent the GG Honda. I wasn't paying attention. You have to just wait until you're like both in the lobbies, or there's some points where you can be pretty confident it's going through. But okay, another Toil Cavalry game. This time cheap villages. We got a nice gainer in workshop. I think workshop's worth picking up here. I don't know how much you do of the... Oh, there's trash. I was gonna say the trash, but there's goats. You could probably try to do other different things. I don't know how much you try to do watchtower stuff versus just lab horse stuff. Probably the most compact payload here is Fool's Gold. Oh, we have the old lucky coin. Another possibility is just to take the silvers and then buy like a gold later on. I mean, you could play with some mix of silvers and lucky and fool's golds as well. That wouldn't necessarily be insane here. You probably can get enough draws. They have 5-2, which looks pretty good to me. I could trash. It's this age-old question, you know, do you gain one lab forever? Or do you gain 2 temporary labs? You know, scholars have debated for a long time. Do you gain 1 lab or you gain a 3? It's like, no. Who knows? Trash 1 card being a pretty crappy trasher, but not the crappiest thing in the world if it's the only trasher. Maybe better to get the Hamlet Watchtower stuff going. We're pursuing that anyway. I mean, if you're real bold, you just get another workshop here, right? And you just try to toil it. Pay $2 to gain a 3, up to a 3 or a 4. Pardon me. Maybe next shuffle. It's not unreasonable though with toil. This isn't great. Guess they're gonna torment me rather. No? Okay. Not gonna torment me. My deck's real weird. I don't know how else to put it. But I kind of like it. But it's definitely a real weird deck. Okay, this didn't quite pan out. This part of the process. It's always a process. Okay, so maybe put a watchtower. What do we got? We got a couple horses. Maybe put a watchtower. I should have gone a little further. I messed up. Let's just try it. You might be able to buy cavalry to get some of the treasures out. There's possibilities of drawing the villages and stuff. There's still Hamlet and Village down in there. It's very tempting. Though it definitely, I guess we can wait to next turn. We can do the same thing we did here. Or about the same thing we did here. Just see. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not 100% convinced that that's good. But it's probably okay. Imp. Imp's nice with horse. My deck is very strange. IMO. I'm not really paying any attention to what Honda's doing. Might be a mistake. Sometimes a thing you want to do. Joke's on you. It may actually hurt me a little bit here just because of the way the cavalry watchtower interaction might have a thing. might be a thing, I should say. I feel like he's copying me. I came up with this stuff, having a bunch of workshops. I invented it. Well, this isn't quite it yet. Do I want more cavalries? I guess that's a question that we might ask ourselves at some point. Trying to figure out. I mean, I could play this pretty straight Hamlet style. I just maybe I'm not making use of the full interaction. And now I can do it Hamlet style, for lack of a better word. Do I want buys? I guess I might want buys. Okay, this is pretty good. Is my goal right now just like play workshops, trash coppers? Is that sort of the life I'm living right now? I could put a watchtower on top. I don't know how my village situation. I mean, there's another watchtower in here already, so maybe that's not the play. Wee. Okay. I'm just all about the cavalry right now. I don't know if I can trigger this. That may be an issue. Okay. Well, I don't have to worry about that. There's a watchtower at the bottom here, I believe. I'm not super clear on watchtower versus or village versus hamlet some of these turns, but this seems. I mean, I kind of like the villages for less clicking. Is like have a silver payload. I am gonna be probably I'm a little bit over terminal. Well, you could say that. You could say I'm a little over terminal. That's not my fault. I mean, it is my fault, but I can't even do that. I don't have the $2. I don't think I deserved this hand exactly. I think I deserved to have a silver in this hand and to draw a village off the 2 cards. Or a hamlet. I know I have a bunch of terminals, but I do have some villages, and I have a lot of silvers. Okay, well, he didn't really get. I guess you can toil rescue yourself potentially, depending on the amount of money you have. I don't think deck stacking allows me to rescue. But they can potentially. If they can then buy a cavalry and go back, buy a cavalry or toil cavalry and go back to the buy phase, they can continue on. I don't really have that option here, unfortunately. This is a cool board though, for sure. I don't know if we're doing anything, if we're just wheel spinning, but it's a neat board. This has got to be a bunch of silvers. Maybe. I was trying to think if there's any tormentors stuff that can rescue me. I don't believe there is. But I hadn't thought through all the hexes. It's probably not technically impossible, but I think it is. I don't have like a 5 that could get locust. I don't know what else could help. Greed doesn't put the copper in hand, right? It just puts on top of your deck. Plague is cursed hand. You know what? I can look at them. Let's see. What do the hexes do? Greed. Gain a copper onto your deck. Yeah. So I could draw it, but it wouldn't matter because then I'd be out of actions. Okay. I mean, this is actually friendly, but not helpful enough. That was a really good turn from Honda. I feel like I could have maybe had a really good turn, but I'm not going to. Pretty sad. You know what? Take that, curse. I mean, copper. This game won't ever really be over just because the nature of the 3 piling is kind of, I mean, a little bit, it's going to be somewhat tricky. I guess it could be over if Honda like double provinces 2 turns. Then I mean, that would be one way for it to be mostly over. But other than that, I mean, it's possible for someone to muck up a 3 pile at most any point. So yeah, I mean, it may be totally feasible for Honda just to start scoring and I can't catch them. Just too much sadness in the previous hand. I wonder, man, this is the worst thing to be thinking about right now. I'm thinking about that first game, and I wonder what the odds were of Honda getting to double province off the reshuffle when he just went for it. I'd have to look at what was in hand already versus what was in the deck, but how much drawn, of course. This is a wrong thing to be pondering. Now I'm miserable. Too late, Tormentor. I already beat you to it. I'm not miserable. I'm very happy. Well, very is maybe not. Very may not be accurate. Mildly happy. Buy cavalry. Keep going. Keep spinning. Keep spinning. Never stop spinning. Always be spinning. ABS. Returns a horse to the horse pile. You get seven big dollars at the end of these turns. Incredible. Mine won't even make $7. Do you think he lowered too much? Do you think there's an opportunity for a sneak attack? Miserable makes the sneak attack a little bit harder. That's not... Miserable makes the sneak attack more of a pain. For sure. Now, if he lowers, and if he buys 2 Hamlets and a Watchtower, I don't even think I can do that, but I might be able to. I wonder if they're going to take a duchy. Are they winning? I mean, I guess the idea is to remove the trickery from me. Take away all opportunities for trickery, but how many Hamlet? Maybe I don't have enough Hamlets in deck. I would need I mean, it doesn't have to be hamlets. I mean, it's mostly about village of or terminal space, right? Well, okay, it is about a lot of things, sequencing, terminal space, and all this stuff. So if I could draw the workshops, well, first card to click is pretty easy here. They don't have anything on top. They don't have that many villages. They could dud here, right? They got 2 horses or 4 horses, but they're not guaranteed to be on top. I mean, probably he's got 3 of them in hand, but they could dud because they don't have cavalry options either. But anyway, I still just have 2 workshops, right? So not a large, you wouldn't call that a large number of workshops. And I can get buys, but not that many buys. So I don't believe. I can province though, which would be nice at this point for me. Some piles have lowered a little bit. I may be able to province and top deck some horses or something. Unlikely that I would have the money here. Okay. I think if we draw Watchtower, we're just top decking. Okay. Does buy help me? I just have $9, so not really. I think the last card is a Watchtower, so it would have been really nice to draw it rather than the lucky coin and top deck 4 horses, but that's not how things went down. Do I want the silver? I mean, the way I'm playing the deck at this point, the answer is probably, right? I probably want the silver. This is something. Yep, just horse and horse. I just want Honda to have a stop. 1 stop. I don't know how easy it will be for them to, I mean, they'll be able to province, I'm sure, with that opening. But I don't know how easy it will be for them to like score and win. I don't know that they have the gains necessarily to do the estates all that easily on top of the hamlets. It's probably possible. But I don't know if it's, guaranteed. I mean, how could it possibly be guaranteed, right? But maybe very likely. I don't know. And then you have to get the, you know, the workshops and the hamlets, you know, watchtowers and hamlets, workshop and hamlets, or like estates and hamlets. And then also, if you do one of the other pile out, if you don't do the estate pile out, then you have to score as well. But they have 3 workshops. I don't know. They could very easily run into action issues. I think they don't have that many. I think I have all the villages. They might have one. Okay. Right. So now I'm going to try for the 3 pile. I don't actually have that good of tools to do it either. This is a good opening hand for sure. It's still a fair bit of money for me if I don't find stuff. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay. This is hard though, because I don't have like an obvious discard now, because it's possible the cavalry is needed later on. I mean, it can also just province, and then like I don't have to play for a pile out that I may or may not be able to get. In fact, it's not that easy for me to do it at all, right? The workshops may be easier than the hamlets. I'm gonna be able to get them down, not the hamlets, then the watchtowers. I'm gonna be able to get the workshops down by chaining some stuff, but if I run out of watchtowers, then that stops. So I can do a couple right away, but that's still dependent. And going for the pileup may hurt my chances of just taking provinces and going quite a bit. I guess I can lower in province. Maybe that's not so scary that they wouldn't be able to province and empty the piles. That's not clear to me. They obviously have good stuff on top. So if I get, I still need $10 and 4 buys if I get the watchtowers. If I change some of the workshops, it may be considerably easier. But yeah, the real problem is the the real problem okay. I guess this isn't really too bad. It's still just roughly status quo from the start. I wasn't gonna get 10 buys. I'm not gonna do the curses. So I can put a hamlet on top, but then that's not chaining workshops, which makes the pile out pretty unlikely. Maybe we just lower a little bit, and I think we're just gonna build-ish, for lack of a better word. I don't think I'm getting the pile out. That seems super unlikely. Excuse me. I could. Are they still going to be action limited? I would really like to not just give them a free pile out, if possible. Village Gain seems pretty safe. Hamlet Gain even seems pretty safe. The one that's tempting me is the Workshop Gain, and that doesn't seem as safe. Or a Watchtower. I don't know. I mean, I definitely don't mind we just buy. That was sad. I definitely don't mind we take turns buying province. I even more don't mind we take turns me buying province and him not buying province. That is definitely a world I can live in. They did add a watchtower, which is interesting. I'm dying here. All right. I don't know how good the duchy is, but there's not really anything else for me to buy. Now like them piling out seems, completely impossible. Or pile out and winning seems completely impossible. Did you have a lot of horses? My deck should be like okay at hitting 8. I mean, not like that bad. There's some filtering you can do with the green. I mean, you're not really drawing payload with Watchtower necessarily, but you can do a little bit of obviously you can get green cards out of your hand potentially with Hamlet and get to yellow cards. Even if I'm payload wise, just maybe a workshop here or there. So not the most exciting draw decks of all time, but Envy would hurt. Envy would really hurt. I mean, last turn Envious wouldn't have hurt, but future turns it could definitely hurt. Whoa. Yeah, they're just tossing the workshops now because they can't lower. Or not terribly safely anyway. A fool. I guess we've reached that stage. I mean, fool. Lost of Woods is nice. No. The fool may give them. I guess there's some world where they just have 1 million silvers in hand right now, and the fool gives them maybe the extra push they need to get to get to like double province even. There's some world. I mean, those are pretty. I mean, those are for sure nice boons. It would be super funny if he could get a game win off of it, but I don't think that's too likely. This is about the configuration you need to do it, though. Fool's Gold. Are they going to add another Fool? Man, I'll die if they get... They probably double here. That was a lame plague. Oh, they just get to 10. Okay, never mind. I mean, the plague probably won't hurt me. It sucks a bit. I mean, the point definitely matters, or definitely can matter. And it sucks that, I guess it sucks that I didn't block it. I mean, potentially the Cursed Hand is helpful too, so we can't, I guess, discount that, but I may be able to just trash it without too much issue. What are the odds? Can I get to 9 buys if I gain 2 Hamlet? I don't think so. I don't have 8 Hamlets, right? Even if I workshop 2 of them. No way. No way, no how. Just get to the where are the watchtowers? That's what we need to start thinking about stuff. I guess the answer is they don't exist. Okay. All right, this is something. Do we go for it now? We only have to get 3 watchtowers. We need 7 and 3 buys. If we find the other workshop and it's in deck. I mean, if we were gonna go for it, this is the time, right? But how many cards are we drawing off the... If we top deck a... I guess there's still the chaining of the workshops to consider. Which we could do a decent amount of. If we had 2 workshops in hand, we can do some nicer stuff with the horses, but I don't know how much we can do with just this. We can for sure do 3 workshop canes right now. But that's not that exciting. To me. Maybe it is, but... And then we have this question of, do we trash the curse or do we put the horses on top? How small the hand can we get? It's so annoying. Or is Village better than Watchtower? The pile out. We're just trying to get to the other workshop and have a fair bit of money. I'm gonna be down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. So I'm only drawing 1. 2 cards. I'll draw the 2 horses. I guess one possibility is to play the hamlet before the workshop. If we're gaining a watchtower anyway. Now the number of workshop chains has gone up a little bit, but not high enough. And this hasn't changed. Some aspects of this at all. We could trash the curse with the village, I guess. I'm trying to think. Maybe I should have played. Well, I can't do that. I managed to be pretty confused here. Okay, well, this is again changing the number of workshops that we can potentially chain. So we could get, I think we can do 4 workshop plays at this point. That's not sufficient to win right off the bat anyway. Now if only, now I should have done something different. I don't even know. Yeah, I don't even know if I'll get to the hamlets. Again, this may be a case of just buy province. Did he shuffle deck? He didn't shuffle deck. He's got some horses on top though, but this could easily just be buy province or try to buy province, right? Or wait on the watchtower and just do the 7 and 3 buy. This is very confusing to me. I don't think, it doesn't seem that likely to be helpful. Okay. Here's some more information. Now how many workshops can we chain? Just to 4 plays again still. And if we can just get to the other... No. We can just get to the other workshop. The watchtowers become considerably easier. If we ever at any point have 2 of them in hand, it also becomes a good deal easier. Maybe that's what we go for. We can't seemingly get there. I think I have a workshop. I mean, I don't actually know for a fact that's the case. I think we got bad omens, right? At the start of this one. Well, we got bad omens sometime. We have bad omens here. 2 workshops discarded. I didn't play workshops. I didn't have there. It's in there. It's in the bottom 5. We have to get to 3 buys and we have to keep $7. That's what I don't know what the other 5 are. That's part of the issue. Okay. So we got to get the buy. Maybe this is guaranteed. How many horses can we draw? If we go, how low can we get here? I hope I'm just like totally wrong about how many cards I'm drawing here. Or whether there's a workshop in here. Hey. All right. I'm not envious, am I? I probably was agonizing over click orders where the clear correct one was more obvious, but oh well. Or I probably just missed like an earlier win. (5-2) is super bad. I guess you can top deck catapult. But I don't think that's mitigates the 5-2. 2-5 is super bad. 5-2 you could at least go silk catapult. I mean, this is just like real nice triumphal arc. You get silks and watery minstrels, and then I don't know, you can just get a bunch of actions to score points for a long time, and then there's some stuff you can do, but you don't, it doesn't matter. He's gonna get out ahead here for sure, I would say. I don't even know if this is like, I'm not even sure that that's the right choice. More coppers here than I would like to see, of course. And he'll probably get to buy, you know, a silver or something. I would buy a silver. It seems, I mean, you're trying to buy fours, so I would get one. I would buy a silver, except I'm not going to be able to. I may not even be able to this hand. If I bottom deck copper, then I just don't get to buy a 3. Okay, so I was at least fortunate enough to bottom deck my necro. So E.Honda didn't buy silver, which I don't think I agree with, though. I mean, yeah, I just don't agree with that. I mean, I understand it, but it looks wrong to me. I think you just get another silk merchant, yeah. Yeah, this is gonna just turn very rough. I think you keep mine silk, right? I mean, you're not in action trouble yet. I guess you can do crown. I don't know. Crown doesn't excite me that much. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I want crowns, I guess, but I don't care about having crowns right now to spend a coffer on it. Like, what are you crowning? You might crown your minstrel to save a villager at some point, but it wasn't necessary. I mean, you could have just bought the minstrels a little better consistency wise. You don't have like a silver, so you don't have like the optionality. You add a crown, and if you need to use it as an action, you do. And if you can just do it as a silver, then you do it that way. You don't have that optionality yet. Remodel looks quite good. Well, I like the remodel. Quite a bit. I guess that'll go to a silver. Surely. Like, I don't think you do a second catapult. To me, it doesn't seem like, I mean, yeah. I'm totally lost, but I can play on a little bit. The problem is going to be there's not, well, they don't have villagers right now. Okay, now they got one. I was going to say there's not really shuffles. Well, this kind of sucks. There aren't really shuffles, right? So they don't, there's not that much chance of them ever deading, is what I mean by there aren't really shuffles. Maybe I mean, what does it matter? There is some world where they don't have the minstrel and necro in the opening hand, and they have to like play a silk merchant, and then like use a villager and still possibly dead. There's like some world where that could have happened, but not this way. This is too. I wouldn't need that to happen at least once and probably twice for me to get back into it. I wonder if they'll buy a Trove at some point. Probably. I wouldn't do it yet, but now I'm out of villagers, so I am at the whims of finding the thing, finding minstrels. I also don't have. Yuck. I don't. It's not great buy, but I just don't see. I can't actually do my turns unless I. Like, obviously, I want to remodel too, but. I don't know about Trove yet. I guess it's probably okay, but. What's my last card? Just another copper, right? Trove there gives me. I guess I could have trashed the OE and tried to double 4. So I technically have. I don't want this on top. I'm not sure they were actually ready for the trove yet. They still have coppers, don't they? Maybe they don't have coppers. If they're out of coppers, it's probably reasonable. Or if they have one copper, it's probably reasonable. Well, I would say 0, because you can do a silver trash one turn and then move on. But they don't really have the draw yet to handle the golds. I mean, they can start playing it, and I guess if they, if they start playing it, and if they buy Silk Merchant every turn, then it'll probably be okay. It'll probably be fine, but boo. 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 Okay. Yeah, I mean, if we get the Silk Merchant, then we get to the OE, then we have a turn. Then we do have an actual turn. This is not one. We probably gotta remodel the silver. It's a little unfortunate not to be attacking, but I guess we could kill a Necro. Probably the thing to do. Yeah. This didn't pan out. Did they? I think they kind of stopped. If we had drawn Minstrel, we would have had a turn 2, and I mean, they're gonna have their gold or whatever, their trove at the least, so they're still gonna just buy another Silk Merchant and be fine. But okay, they get the remodel. Yeah, I mean, the whatever things. Buy another Silk. You could buy Minstrel, but I think Silk seems good. You'd added a Crown. Silk seems better. Do I even have? I mean, I play it right as a chance of buying 4. There was some small, but and it ended up real bad, right? Because I don't have. Oh well, it's okay. This was kind of gonna be tough from the start. If they, I'll say if they get all 3 of these remaining Silk Merchants, either this turn or over the course of the next couple turns, I'll go ahead and resign. We'll put a cap on it. We'll give Honda enough credit for that. If the Silk Merchants are gone, I'll just say I can get out. Obviously, it's resignable now, but we'll take it as sufficient evidence that they're going to clean it out. If they, I say that like that, it's not like you need to absolutely empty the Silk Merchants. That's not what I mean. It's more like I know my deck will be completely capped out. It's not that triple Silk is like Honda's best buy or anything like that. It's probably not, but it wouldn't be probably not an unreasonable buy. You know what else I'm still thinking about? That first game. What happened to the, wasn't the third game also kind of rough? I don't remember the third game now. No, the third game was the procession. Yeah, whatever. That was probably on me. That was on me, and also whatever. There wasn't really a whole lot of. It was very short anyway. But that first game. Okay, we got one of the silk merchants coming around, gonna trash a silver or copper or whatever. Give me some cursing. Curses. Yeah, I mean, if they, all right, I'll even say if they do. Ooh, that's a little greedy. That's a little greedy. Crowning the trove is a little greedy, but they did what they met my condition, so I'll be a person of my word. I'll be a person of my word. All right, it's 3-2 Honda going in the last game. We'll try and make it a tie. We have the sequence where it doesn't. Right now it's an E meme on my scoreboard. It's an electronic meme. It's got a goons game. I guess I do get to trigger a shuffle with a silver. No, that's not goat anymore. It's mule. Mules and goats, they kind of look the same. 4-4. Everyone. 5-3 is probably better if you have it. 4-4 is okay. So I guess I'm gonna open hideout silver. This is probably more of a highway thing than a game. Well, that's kind of a weird way to describe it. That's maybe misleading. I'm not even gonna play my Necropolis. It hasn't earned it. Has not earned it. This is pretty yikes so far. They had the better opening. Takes the key. Big key believer. Interesting. I'm interested. Got 5. Do I take a treasure? What do I care about treasure? They can have the key, you know? They can just have it for the rest of eternity. What do I care? CF I care. I can get a highway. I wonder if they're gonna get a goons. They may not. I guess there's some world where they have hovel and OE. So maybe they can't, but. I'm gonna have the tragic hero on top. I can feel it. I'm gonna trash 2 cards. I'm gonna buy a goons. I can feel it. Tragic hero's on top. Is everyone like lifting up their spirit in help of me? Oh gosh. It's on top. I'm gonna draw it without the other. Oh, okay. Everything looks good. I get a highway. Seems like a card you buy here. To me. I'm thinner. Honda has a goons, but I'm thinner. I don't know. I think I'll just try and draw my other thingy. Who's what's it? Now I'll trash the OE. Why not? Get the silver. Okay. Great game. GG's. Honda didn't shuffle yet. Okay, Honda didn't shuffle. That's beautiful. But does have a tragic hero maybe down here? Maybe without village. Okay. Excellent. All according to plan. I'm gonna have tragic hero in the top two. Or you know, highway maybe will get me there. I do need a goons. For sure. As long as it's not cursed copper. That's what it's going to be. I said it. I spoke into existence. I shouldn't have even said it. What was I thinking? What was I thinking? They buy highway? I invented that move. Okay. Okay. Well. Okay. There is a necro and that thing down there. I could do a second tragic hero. That would be a possibility. Oh, too bad. Okay, so they're gonna goons me here. Probably have a decent amount of money. Maybe they could fail. I mean, they could fail to get to whatever. They could have collision. Like, they may not be able to play goons and treasure. That's possible here. I don't know. Yeah, okay. So that's the case. Just do it like that. This still may not turn into much of a turn for me. It does have an advisor, but what's better? When do you play the advisor? Do you play it now or do you wait? He discards the hideout, but that doesn't really hurt me, especially. Okay. Very good. So the main problem right now. Okay, so do I go for draw? Or do I go for the highways? Right now, I mean, the highways are pretty good. I don't know what else to say. This is a promising start. For me. I did have a very good advisor reveal. For sure. On my last turn. Okay. Do I just take the highways? Is this a highway game? I mean, I can get to... Surely I could get to 7 bison. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Don't agonize, Honda. Maybe there's a way to cost me some money. Now I gotta think about a little bit about being able to trash here. I could wait on the highways. Depends on how likely he is to be able to like double highway. So I could go advisor bandit camp goons. I don't think they're gonna triple highway. I don't know. I don't know how this game plays out. It's probably a 3 pile, right? So why you don't need to do the provinces necessarily. Wait a minute. Does March give you wait a minute. I wonder if I could have done this last time. Did I miss a March before? I bet I did. I bet I missed a March when I got my goons. Alright, well we won't worry about it now, but we'll think about it for the future, which is now. Okay, so we buy goons, then we march it. We'll lose $1, but we'll still be able to buy 2 things. We could even go for a triple, but that seems more greedy than necessary at this point. I definitely, well, I don't know where the money was. It was exact when I bought the goons, wasn't it? There were 3 and 2. Never mind, maybe I didn't miss one. Maybe I didn't miss one. I guess this turn I could go back and get some of the highways and try and make that split worse. Though it's not clear to me, I don't just keep slamming the advisors. Maybe a tragic hero. A goons. They're gonna discard the bandit camp, I assume. Now they're gonna discard the highway? No, they discard the hideout. I'm not sure that's correct, but I don't know. I didn't mean to play that like that. Well, I don't really need the silver, so this seems like the way to go. Now the only question is, do I add I'm pretty far ahead, right? So I should just be like slow and steady wins the race. That was maybe wrong. Guess not. I guess it was not wrong. Maybe the Necro's bottom decked. All right. Thanks everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you later. See ya.